Well, I'm not an expert. I'm not an authority. I'm someone who has been a murderer for almost 20 years.
Maybe I should have killed 400 or 500 people, then I would have felt better.
People say Ted Bundy didn't show any emotion. There must be something in there. I showed emotion. You know what people said? See, you really can get violent and angry.
Welcome to the Squonk The Hag, a podcast about murder, mystery, the supernatural, and even a conspiracy or two.
Dun, dun, dun.
My name is Mo.
And I'm Kraken.
Welcome on in, everybody, to another episode of the Squonk The Hag, and it is a Krako Tale week.
So that means we get to traumatize Mo some more. Because, I still think it's hilarious your reaction to me telling you the title of the story or the cryptid that we're talking about, and you were just like, I'm sorry, the what?
Well, it has a funny name.
Oh, you mean the Popelic monster?
Yes, I want to know who is like, yes, lick the Pope, but it's a monster.
We will discuss that.
Okay.
But I don't think it has to do with licking the Pope. If it does, I couldn't find information on that, but...
Well, I mean... Pope lick Pope.
The lick Pope monster is his cousin. Sorry.
All right, lay it on me. I'm gonna regret this.
So this one is from Kentucky.
I have an uncle that lives in Kentucky.
Maybe they know of the Pope lick monster.
I'll have to ask him.
Because many things come to mind when you think of Kentucky. You know, bluegrass music, horse racing, bourbon, baseball bats, even fried chicken. But when you think of Kentucky, do you think of a part man, part goat, part sheep creature living by a train trestle?
Can't say that's the first thing that comes to mind.
Well, it's going to be a thing now.
Although you mentioned baseball bats, my parents did go to the Louisville Slugger factory, and my dad has a picture standing proudly in front of the giant baseball bat.
Well, I will say I don't remember the exact how many miles this is from, but this is not far from the Louisville Slugger Museum.
Scratch that off the list of places to go.
Like, it's only like 30 minutes max. So, as I said, this is one of Kentucky's more infamous legends. The Popelic monster, or as most people call him, the Goat Man.
Not as humorous, but...
Yeah, I mean, you could shorten it to Goat Man if you don't want people thinking of, you know, licking the Pope, but I mean...
The Pope-licking goat man monster.
Mm-hmm.
They should hire me to name cryptids. I'd be real good at it.
I would pay for that, please. Just give you the description and maybe a blurry Bigfoot style photo and just like, what do you want to call this?
That's the Squiggly Poop Man.
I mean, that's how we got Jeff.
Hey, Jeff's a good guy. He just wants his latte and, like, a nice warm bubble bath, and...
It's probably a good thing we don't name cryptids, because we would give them, like, the most innocent, harmless descriptions ever.
This is Billy. He's gonna eat your face off.
This is Jeff. His cousin is Bigfoot, but he's a vegan.
He likes yoga. Gets acupuncture once a week.
Good old Jeff.
I'm afraid of acupuncture. I don't know if I've ever told you that, but I am.
No, that's new.
It's just something about a whole bunch of needles shoved into your skin. So I don't do well with, like, needles in general. Like, if I have to get a shot or blood drawn or something like that, I just can't see it. Like, the pain I don't care about, but I can't see it actually go through the skin. It freaks me out. And, like, even on, like, TV and movies and stuff like that, if they're gonna... Like, you know, sometimes there's like they're gonna. So I can't.
I mean, that's kind of funny because, like, that is a thing that you're not gonna feel the pain. You can, like, trick your brain into being like, no, it doesn't hurt, because you don't see it happening.
I mean, it's not that. Like, it still hurts. And, like, I can feel it.
Fair.
It's just, if I see it, I will start hyperventilating if I see the needle go into my skin.
Yeah, let's not have that happen.
Yeah, so I'm afraid of acupuncture.
The scene from one of the Final Destination movies ruined acupuncture for me, so gonna leave it at that.
I've only seen the first one, and I try to forget the trauma.
I think this one was the third one, I don't remember, but it's bad.
I have trouble driving behind trucks.
That's fair.
Not a fan of flying.
That is very understandable.
Anyway, sorry.
This is fine.
I went off the rails quick there. I apologize.
Funny enough, you mentioned going off the rails because it's right by a train trestle. On the, like I said, it's just outside of Louisville, near not too far from the Louisville Slugger Museum. It's actually owned by the Norfolk Southern Railroad. It passes through the parklands of Floyd's Fork, and where the creature got its name, I'll mention it again later, but the name of the creek where this trestle goes over is Pope Lick Creek.
Again, who was like, that's what we're gonna name this? Pope Lick.
I should have known. I should have looked up the backstory for the creek. We're just going off on a tangent, like how the creek got its name. And
Well, I mean, somebody had to think about licking the Pope. Somebody was out there, oh yeah.
I mean...
Or was there a Pope named Lick?
Who knows?
You know, there's Pope Benedict, Pope Lick.
The one bit of information I didn't think that I would need to look up. This is fine. This is fine. I'm a professional researcher. This is fine.
You're something.
You got that right, yeah. Mm-hmm. But what makes the Goat Man so much fun is he kind of roams the woods near the trestle and is known to, like, go up on top of it and everything. So he's just kind of all over the place near this train trestle. And apparently he has the ability to use mimicry or hypnosis to lure victims to the top of the trestle.
Maybe he just really likes trains.
Maybe. But
like if you go back to his little cave, he has like a little train set up with like all the tiny little miniature people, and he has like a miniature goat man.
He just wants to show people his train set, that's all.
Yeah, and here you are doing a story about him like he's a monster.
I mean, listen, I'm just going off of the things that I could find in the articles that are facts? Question mark?
Yeah, okay. Only report the facts?
I mean, is it a fact when, like, technically there haven't been any actual sightings or photographs of this goat man? This is purely a folktale out of Kentucky.
Yeah, it's a little different. Like, if I was sitting here and doing the true crime stories and, like, I think this is a fact, it would be different. But you're doing cryptids and folklore, urban legends, so it's a little less...
Okay, let me rephrase. I'm doing facts based on what people have spread around.
There we go.
That's the word.
That whole sentence there, that's the whole word.
That's several words. That's just a whole word. Facts that people have spread around, that's one word.
Yep.
I wonder if the goat man's consequences have actions.
I mean, everybody's consequences have actions.
Actually, his consequences do have actions, because it has been suggested in most tales about the goat man that once the victim is at the top of the trestle, one of two things happens. Either they're struck by a passing train, or they see the goat man and it is so horrifying they jump from the 100-foot trestle.
Again, did anybody ask if they could see his train set?
Probably not. I don't think they got that far.
Probably if they just took a moment to look, he has like a little toy train in his hand. I want to show you. But they're like, ah! And they jump off.
Oh no, but some stories he does have something in his hands. We'll get there.
It's a little toy train.
Oh, you wish it was a little toy train. So one thing with this story that, because this story actually has caused many deaths, which I will explain later on as the story unfolds.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people think that the train trestle is abandoned and no longer in use, but actually that's a big... that's like a main artery going into Louisville for trains. So like there's heavy freight trains going through several times daily.
Oh.
And people who are curious with this story want to go try and find the goat man, and they ignore the signs and think, oh, it's just an abandoned trestle. I'll just climb to the top and see what's up here. You can't really get down very quick.
You would think that if someone researched this story and was like, okay, so this is where the goat man is, somewhere it would say, this is an active train track.
Yeah, that's another problem, is because with most cryptids and stuff, there have been movies and stuff made about it, and Norfolk Southern actually had to release a statement after the release of that movie because they were angry at, I guess, how the movie portrayed it as an abandoned train trestle. They had to make a statement saying, please do not climb on this trestle. It is still very active.
So I'm gonna sound stupid here. What movie?
The movie was it's I don't know, can you call a 16-minute film a movie? I call that a short film. That's a YouTube video.
I think that would be considered a short film, yeah.
But it was released in 1988. It's The Legend of the Popelik Monster. They showed it in Kentucky at the Uptown Theater, and most of the film was shot by the actual trestle. So after that, they had to release a statement because they thought that the film would encourage people to go explore the trestle because they filmed a movie there, so it must be safe, right?
Yeah, so at the Uptown Theater, were there girls and maybe some downtown boys?
I mean, maybe. Who knows? These are all facts lost to time. Who knows? Not only is there a creek near this, apparently this is a very long trestle. There's also a street that passes under it as well, and some people that tell stories of having seen the Goat Man will say that the Goat Man jumps off of the trestle onto passing cars.
Oh, great.
So if it wasn't horrifying enough, you know.
Yeah, you know what? Let's never go there.
It sounds like you want to go there.
No.
Let me guess. You want me to go there and you'll meet me there?
Oh, that would be great.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Krako.
Me just waiting in like a goat mascot costume, hiding in a bush somewhere. And then you just see news reports, Goat Man captured, and it's just me in the costume.
But you got stuck in it so they can't get it off you?
And it muffles my speech just enough that it just sounds like something trying to mimic a human, just like the story. Me being hauled through town in a net.
See, I think that would make a good movie. But I think instead of the Legend of the Popelik Monster as like a serious horror movie short film thingy, just make that where you go in a mascot costume that you got stuck in and you get arrested.
Is it so much of a bad idea to like do that, but like try to sneak up on people who are investigating the Goat Man?
I mean, I would laugh. One of them might shoot you, but that's a risk you're got to be willing to take.
Fair. This is in rural Kentucky, so I mean...
If you hear banjos, run. I apologize to anyone who lives in Kentucky. Not all of Kentucky is Deliverance, but parts of it are.
We just hear some strange noises, maybe banjos. I turn around, I'm like, Mo, what is that? And then you're just not there. Just, Mo? Where'd you go?
Don't worry about it. It's fine. Everything's fine.
Everything is fine. It's perfectly fine. As I said, the Popelik monster got its name from Popelik Creek and not from actually licking popes, which is honestly would have been a little bit of a better story, but this is fine.
I mean, you say this, but do you know?
You have a point.
Maybe there is like another Kentucky urban legend that the Pope came to town and some guy like got close enough and licked the Pope.
He kind of looked like a goat.
Well, maybe because a lot of Christian symbolism, you know, this dude licked the Pope, which means probably evil, and then like turned into a devil, or maybe was possessed by a devil. I
mean, mayhaps.
Maybe it was the devil. Maybe the devil licked the Pope.
You may have a theory here. You may be onto something.
I mean, I'm sure when you decided to do this story, this is exactly what you thought was going to happen.
Honestly, I just write the stories and then just let the content create itself as we record what I've written.
Well, I think we need to make this the new internet urban legend that many, many years ago, when Catholicism was fresh on American soil, Satan rose from the ashes and licked the Pope and then fled to Kentucky.
Yeah, that works. Also, why does that sound like the meme where the lady's on the train with her pug in the bag and the pug licks this lady's elbow and she does not realize it's a dog?
I've seen that one. That's hilarious.
That's basically what happened. Just replace the characters with the Pope and the pug is the goat.
Or the devil.
Or that, yeah. So it's a horrified shriek as they turn around and notice that it's just a goat. Or the devil.
Oh, Lord, this episode is going to be a bitch to edit. I'm just going to put that out there right now.
This one's not flowing. It's more like it's being aggressively dumped out through a sewer grate.
This episode is constipation, just being pushed out.
I've never heard a more accurate description. So basically, our podcast is like poop. Sometimes, everything flows very smoothly, and other times it's a bit of a struggle. Sometimes you got to take your socks off, like...
What? I have never been in the bathroom and said, oh man, I gotta take my socks off for this.
Clearly you've never experienced the equivalent of this story then. So, I mean, it's fine. It's fine.
I mean, everybody has poop troubles, but I have never had anything that made me need to take my socks off.
I mean, that's you. I mean, I have seen a photo in looking for memes. It's like the feet under the bathroom stall, the shoes and the socks were off. So, like, I'm just saying, it has happened.
Many years ago, at one of my old jobs, I worked with a guy who had to take all of his clothes off to go to the bathroom.
Fair.
Even at work.
Fair.
And it was a unisex bathroom.
Was it single bathroom like the family bathrooms, or...
Stalls.
Okay. I'm just picturing, like, belt thrown over the stall wall, pants, like, half in the sink, half on the floor. There's one shoe over there in the corner.
You're not that far off, which is really disturbing.
The shoes were just hastily kicked off by the door. It was like they undressed as they were moving.
Yes, that is extremely accurate, and
don't know what happened in here, don't care to know, I can wait.
I can pee later.
This is fine. Do you want to make a podcast? Well, Spotify has a platform that lets you make one super easily, and they'll distribute it everywhere for you. And you can even earn money. It's all in one place, and the best part is it's free. It's called Spotify for Podcasters. And it works like this. Spotify for Podcasters lets you record and edit podcasts right from your phone, your computer, or whatever you have. So whether your setup is the Hot Wheels PC or if you've got the SpaceX supercomputer, you can set up very easily and start creating today. Then you can distribute your podcast to Spotify and anywhere else people might listen to their podcasts. Video podcasts are also available on Spotify, and when you want to take your conversations with your fans to the next level, you can do Q&As, polls, anything to get them talking. Maybe tell them a creepy story, something to just disturb them and just get everyone typing at once. With Spotify for Podcasters, you can earn money in several different ways, from ads all the way to podcast subscriptions. And the best part of this all is it's free and there's no catch. Without Spotify for Podcasters, we would just be recording stuff and saving it to our computer, and that would be a little awkward since we have no idea how to distribute stuff. But thankfully, Spotify for Podcasters does all the hard work for us. Anyway, remember I said the goat man has been said to be holding something and it's not a toy train?
Yeah.
Some people say he attacks with a blood-stained axe.
I mean, I've heard worse.
Yeah, but it's a little worse than a train, I think, but...
Oh yeah, it's worse than a toy train, but I've heard of worse things to be attacked with.
I mean, like, a toy train?
Oh yeah, actually, I would much rather be hacked with an axe than a toy train, because the axe, hopefully they have good aim and it'll be quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, can you imagine being slowly gutted with a toy train?
New horror movie idea.
Is this the same one where you're in the goat costume, or...?
Yes, I'll just walk around carrying a small train.
Okay.
That's how you'll know it's me in the cage when they parade me through town, because I got stuck in the costume. And I wandered into town looking for help.
Oh my god, it's the Poplick monster!
It's the goat man.
Please, they're stuck in the cage. The zipper is stuck. Please, help me. The zipper is stuck. Hello?
Me just slowly waddling toward them, arms stuck out like, please help, I can't see.
Mom said I needed to be home.
Have you seen Mo?
I think we need to make this the first Squonk the Hag movie.
Oh, we do. We need to make movies based on all these cryptids and stories that we've discussed, but it'll be just all filmed in your backyard with like a $0 budget.
Well, I mean, that is our budget.
So just whatever we have laying around. You've got the craft supplies. I'm sure we can find something in your craft room to make a goat costume, but
I don't know about that, but I was able to make a little D&D forge that lights up.
Fair enough. I'm sure we can. That can be like you can build the minis for the exterior shots.
Well, I was gonna say, what if we did like a stop motion animation?
Somehow that would be even worse.
Oh yeah, it would be terrible, but it would be funny.
None of the shots line up. Everything's like off timed and just looks really awkward.
Yeah, it's us.
Mm-hmm.
Would you expect anything else?
You got a point.
If it's not awkward, it's not us.
You got a point.
Yeah.
So, in case you're wondering what this goat costume might look like, we have a description of the goat man.
You know, you're actually doing really good with segues tonight.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. It's like, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It's like, what's the energy and vibe going to be like tonight?
Well, usually you're like, anyway. Tonight you're actually getting creative. I'm impressed.
Now it's getting smooth.
It's something.
The potholes have been patched. It's not smooth, but at least there's not a hole there anymore.
Oh, when you say that, I don't know if you saw what happened in Philadelphia recently.
I've been seeing a lot of stuff happening in Philadelphia. Are they okay?
Well, the I-95?
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, for anyone who doesn't know, there was a gasoline truck that got in an accident and caught on fire. And one of the bridges of I-95, which is a central travel route between, I guess, like, all the way up to New York and stuff, down to D.C., and part of the bridge collapsed.
In case you needed bridges to be more horrifying.
Yeah, oh yeah. Well, it caught, so the gas truck caught on fire, and then the fire is what made the bridge collapse.
Yeah, because it was like under the bridge, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was under the bridge.
Yeah.
But they actually announced that they're hoping to have the bridge reopened this weekend.
Well, that's good.
Which is interesting considering there are potholes on roads near my house that make the entire car like bottom out. And they've been there for years.
It's one of those potholes you hit and it turns on your check engine light.
Pretty much, yeah. That's Pennsylvania roads right there. But I understand that I-95 is important. So, like, I'm not actually grumpy, but I'm like, I really wish they could fix that giant pothole on 222 that, well, actually, they did fix the one. The scariest one I've ever seen is there was a pothole on a bridge, and when you drove over it, you could see under the bridge.
Yeah, no. I'll walk, thank you.
Yeah. It took them a few years to fix that one, but that one's finally fixed. But yeah, there are some that are...
I feel like that's a case where, like, the Mothman would show up and warn people of that one.
Well, Pennsylvania roads, like, there are memes about how bad Pennsylvania roads are. Like, that's the level of bad Pennsylvania roads are.
Is it similar to the meme of King Charles's ceremony in the Golden Carriage driving past sand-filled potholes?
No, it's more like pictures of people literally swimming in a pothole.
Hey, free pool.
I mean, you're not wrong.
They can't fix the potholes because people are in them. So, goat costume.
Goat costume!
So, it's described as a human-goat hybrid with an extremely deformed human body, strong fur-covered goat legs, alabaster skin, and wide-set eyes, with sharp horns that stick out from its head that's covered in long, greasy hair that matches the fur on its legs.
So, I want to know if the goat man can share a skincare routine, because alabaster skin is hard to accomplish.
I mean, maybe they need some, like, hair care tips, because, like, the long, greasy hair, like, maybe they just need, like, a bath. They give the goat man a perm. Like, maybe they got skincare down, they're just not quite sure what to do with the fur.
Well, it's because they don't got the boots.
No, they have the hooves with the fur, not the boots.
Do you think they wear apple-bottom jeans, though?
Now I need to see the goat man in apple-bottom jeans. Why did you do this to me?
You're welcome.
There.
My work here is done.
Mm-hmm. So, as I said, there's not much on the origin of the Popelic monster, but because it's just one reporter, and one of the links that I have down here is someone actually went there and investigated and talked to people about it and everything. And usually they said that the stories, whenever they asked locals about the Goat Man, it's just stories about them going to the train trestle when they were young and stuff like that. So it's just like, it's mainly the train trestle that they're focused on, and not so much as Goat Man sightings. So like, I really couldn't find an origin on that one. It seems like,
Well, I think we figured out the origin.
yeah, the whole licking the Pope thing.
I don't know why you don't give it more credence, acting like it wasn't true.
Yes, it is true. The train trestle was built by the Pope. The devil didn't like that, came up, licked his arm, and just, ran off into the woods. So, one of the disturbing things about the possible origin of the Goat Man is the story could have been inspired by a poem that was written by James Dickey that was published in the Atlantic Monthly in 1966. The poem was titled The Sheep Child, and it discusses the hypothetical existence of a half-man, half-sheep creature. Basically, the beginning of the poem is discussing farm boys who cared for the sheep a little too much. And there was a half-human, half-sheep creature from that. But yeah, I would much prefer Goat Demon than that, but a lot of the theories revolve around that, all the way up to a farmer who made a deal with the devil, and
Yeah.
I guess for better crops, and also was interested in sheep, and that's how the sheep creature came to be.
Okay. What is it with people and sheep?
I have no idea.
I have never looked at a sheep and said, looking pretty good, Mr. Sheep, Mrs. Sheep.
Yeah, I don't.
Like, no. It's just, ew. It's just icky.
Yeah, I don't. That's one of many things that I never really understood. It's like I don't understand why.
I love how you're like one of many things that you don't understand.
Oh yeah, if I thought about it, there's probably several like many things that I don't understand. But we'll just go with it.
Well, I know for a fact there are many, many things you don't understand.
Mm-hmm.
Like triangles.
And like why the Abacus Mountains aren't shaped like chairs.
That one just went all sorts of directions.
It did.
I actually had to take a second to compute that one. I was like, wait. The abbot and that.
Are you surprised?
No.
So as I said in the beginning, it's a half man, half goat, half sheep creature. And that's because at some point,
how is it half man, half goat, half sheep?
I know I realize my typo in my wording there now that you point that this is the consequences having actions all over again.
I'm like, I'm bad at math, but something's not adding up.
You can't split. You can't like get half 3 times.
Yeah, 3 halves. It's fine.
It's close enough. Yeah. Part sheep, part human, part goat. There we go. At some point during the telling of the Goat Man stories, it shifted from Sheep Man to Goat Man, and a lot of people think that is because, like as you were saying before, many people think of sheep as like a symbol of innocence, but the goats are depicted as demonic. So they kind of shifted it to something that was more fitting for this horrible-looking creature.
I mean, that's fair.
It's like goat, sheep, close enough.
I don't know. I think goats are cute.
But if you want like an actual creepy backstory, there was one that like I know was made up because they came up with this legend to market a festival that they were having in town, and they were trying to hype up the Goat Man. Mm-hmm. The story was that this half man, half goat creature was part of a sideshow circus and the train was passing over the trestle and derailed, and the Goat Man escaped.
See, that's a way better story.
It is, but unfortunately that one we can confirm that one was made up by a company to hype up the Goat Man for a festival. But it is a cool story. There's even mad scientist turning into a half goat, half man creature.
I mean, if you're gonna be a mad scientist, you're gonna turn into something.
Why not a goat?
Yeah.
But unfortunately, well, actually, I shouldn't say unfortunately, because it's probably a good thing that we haven't had any actual sightings of a goat man near Popelit Creek, because I think that would be a little creepy. But anyway, it's likely that the legend was fueled by all of the deaths that I mentioned at the train trestle because of trespassers ignoring warning signs and climbing onto the tracks.
Mm-hmm.
That part kind of fits with the story. People are like, oh, all these people are climbing on the tracks. Must be the goat man.
Surely it's not human stupidity.
Surely not. But that got me thinking. I was like, maybe if people were ignoring the signs, maybe someone just was like, if you go out there and play around with that train trestle, you're going to get caught by the goat man to try to keep them away.
That's possible. That is how a lot of, like, fairy tales, bedtime stories, etc., you know, trying to teach kids to behave is really just, you know, trying to scare them from misbehaving and making up monsters or legends or something like that.
And like I said, with the sheep child poem that came out, I mean, if you take that along with needing something to keep people away from a train trestle, you already have your creature. Just plop that in the forest near the trestle.
Yeah.
But all that did was make people curious, and they went looking even more.
Of course, because that's what people do.
Yes. I would have had another little tie-in story onto this if I could have found anything on it, but unfortunately I couldn't, because only one of the links in my sources mentions it, and I tried looking everywhere for more information on it, and there was nothing, so I don't know. But apparently there's been a ghost train sighted on that same trestle, according to one of the source links, but because I wanted to tie that in there too, but I unfortunately couldn't find anything about a ghost train in Kentucky. So I'm not sure what that's about, but maybe if anyone's listening from Kentucky can shed more light on a possible ghost train.
Maybe the goat man has his little model train set, and with that model train set, he actually controls a ghost train. So the goat man isn't bad. It's the ghost train that the goat man controls, but maybe he doesn't like actually have like full control over it. It's just he's playing with his train, and when he's playing with his train, there's this ghost train that's tied to it, like it's a cursed train set that he didn't know is cursed. He just thinks it's a fun little play set, and he plays with his train, and then it has a ghost train, and in the ghost train is a ghost goat man with an axe. So the goat man isn't killing people. It's actually the ghost train from his cursed train set that nobody wants to look at.
I feel like I'm sorry, but I feel like I had a stroke trying to comprehend that. It's a possibility.
That was so believable.
I couldn't help but picture the goat man in the little image that I included in the notes, just with a conductor hat on.
Oh, it could be so cute with his little horns poking out the top.
Join us on our new show, hopefully soon to be hosted on the Travel Channel, where we go around and try to tame cryptids, and we walk up to the goat man and are just like, who's a cute little guy? Come here, I'm just gonna boop the snoot. Come here.
Just walk up to him, and you know, like the little thing where you like put your fingers together, and it's like,
You make the little circle.
Hi, I like toy trains too. Do you want to play with toy trains?
We just brought like a little small train and left it by the trestle.
And then we're never seen again because it kills us.
You think we'll get that far? You act like the Travel Channel is not going to laugh at my message to them, like how we're going to need like a large budget for like infrared cameras, camping equipment, and all sorts of stuff like that to go hunt the goat man.
It's really hard to take an email seriously when it's in Rainbow Comic Sans.
You gotta be so accurate.
I told you about this, Krako. When you're sending professional emails, you gotta dial it back.
Dial it up? Okay. So it's gotta also have like a confetti overlay that just constantly rains like sprinkles over the text to make it even harder to read.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And lots of neon flashing lights. Cool, got it. And music that you can't pause or turn the volume down, and it's always set to max.
What's kind of funny is today at work, I led an accessibility training.
Mm-hmm.
Basically saying don't do any of that stuff.
I would go to the accessibility training class just to do the opposite of what they told me to do.
Well, that's good because did you know that Comic Sans is actually the easiest font for someone with dyslexia to read? So you should probably use it, Kraken.
Is that why I use it for all of my memes? I was way ahead of you. I use Comic Sans for all of my memes.
I hope you know that every time I talk to you, my soul dies a little.
That's fair. That's what the Advil's for. It's to, like, you know, grab the soul and just pull it back. Like, get back here. We're not done yet.
Oh, I will be taking Advil as soon as I hang up.
That's fair.
Well, then. Alrighty. So, thank you for the very weird experience that is this episode. I have no idea what is wrong with us, but I'm pretty sure there's a list out there somewhere.
It's called the watch list, but, you know, I'm still waiting on my free watch. If anyone knows what's wrong with us, please do kindly respond and tell us, because we would love to know.
Perfect. All right, well, thank you once again, Krako, and I think before we get any more out there, we should probably call this an episode.
We're already way out there.
More than people realize. But thank you guys so much for listening, and we will talk to you next week.
As always, make sure to check out our website for all of the show notes, sources, and more information at thesquonkandthehag.com.
And we would also love and appreciate your support by either leaving a review on iTunes or through small monthly donations using the viewer support link in the description. And if you don't subscribe, make sure to follow us on your favorite podcast network to get notified of new episodes every Thursday.
All right, Krako, you ready?
Okay, bye.